We're here at Rigs and Techniques, and Colin here is the expert on kayaks, so he's going to come in here and tell us about how to pick a paddle. And I know a lot of the kayaks have pedals and stuff these days, but you still got to have a good paddle no matter what.
Yeah, because the last thing you need is your pedals breaking down and you being out in the middle of the ocean or a big body of water and panic mode kicks in.
Exactly. You should always have an oar in a boat, always have a paddle on a kayak.
It seems like a real simple topic that not a lot of people cover, but I really wanted to dial in on it because it's both an endurance thing and a safety thing at that point. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing you want to consider when you're looking at what paddle to get for your kayak is, are you just getting into it and getting like a standard kayak that maybe isn't built for fishing, or are you going to go all in and get a heavy duty fishing kayak that's generally wider, carries more equipment, has rod holders and whatnot? So
it's not one of those gliding kayaks.
Right, not the leisure kind. So for the sake of it being a fishing show, we'll say you're going to get a fishing kayak, right?
Right.
So typically those are around 30 to over 30 inches wide. So right off the bat, that tells you that you need a lot longer of paddle.
I could barely fit in there, I think.
Because the last thing you need is you're out there paddling and your knuckles will be busting on the side of it if you don't get one that's long enough.
Right.
So that's the first thing you want to consider. And the second thing you want to consider is, a lot of the fishing kayaks nowadays have adjustable seating positions. You got the guys that really want stability, so they're going to sit nice and low in their kayak. Then you have guys that like to sight fish, whether it be for redfish or trout. They're going to be sitting in that upper seating position. So they're
going to be higher.
You're going to be higher up. So if you're a taller guy like myself and you're using that higher seating position, a longer paddle is going to help you there as well. So that's
sitting down low, you can get away with using a smaller one.
Yeah, you can get away with it. And the reason why we say that brings me to the third point is your height. I said I'm a taller guy. It's an endurance thing at that point. You don't want to be using your shoulders out there in the water and be paddling vertically like that. The whole point of it is you want to be able to have everything more straight out, so you're using your core. Because the last thing you need is to get in your kayak, paddle to your fishing spot, and you already be tired.
Yeah.
Because then you got to come back.
Right.
So
that's my biggest fear.
Getting out there and not being able to come back.
Exactly.
So the fourth thing, now that we get into the paddle itself, there's two different kinds of paddles you can get. These are both considered fixed length paddles, meaning it's one size that I purchased, this specific size at the store. But what you see a lot with paddle boards specifically is an adjustable one.
Right.
And the reason why that works for paddle boards is because you can be sitting, kneeling, sitting on a cooler, standing. So it's good to have a telescoping paddle.
And when you're standing up, it's got to be really long.
Yeah, especially if you're a tall fellow.
Right.
So the next thing after that is you want to consider the blade. Now, these both here are considered high-angle blade paddles.
A big curve, right?
No, the high angle means it's like less of a curve, actually, and just a little more beefier, because what that's meant for is pushing a lot of water, which is what you need for a fishing kayak because it's heavier. I mean, these things by themselves empty are like over 100 pounds now. And then you add all your gear and yourself, you really want to be able to push that water, and you could be fighting a current as well out there.
Right.
So you definitely want to consider a high-angle blade versus the other one, which is a low-angle blade, and that's more for the
for a lake.
Yeah, a lake, the leisure guy that's maybe not bringing a whole bunch of gear. He's bringing one or two rods and really just wants to spend all day searching for new fishing spots and maybe scouting new fishing spots.
I gotcha.
So if we want to go further into detail about how to pick the right...
I think we got like 15 seconds.
Got 15 seconds? All right.
But yeah, you're going to be looking for, trying to get a longer one if you're a long guy and a shorter one if you're a short guy. If you're sitting up high, long. If you're sitting up real low, shorter.
Wider the kayak, longer the paddle.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
thank you very much, Colin.
Fuel cost bill, though.
The zero fuel
cost. Zero.